Hey, all right.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Episode 4.
Episode 4. There's already been 4 of these?
Yeah.
I mean, the coffee breaks are kind of like extra and stuff. So
Extra for patrons.
Yeah, that's right. Extra for
But
patrons.
in more critical right now news, I have an unopened bottle of bourbon. And I think we're going to go ahead and start naming our bourbons.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to taste them. We're going to give you guys the DL on some bourbon because I think that's really why you're tuning into this, right? You're not here to learn anything.
So
if you're young, you need to be older before you try. Yeah.
This is an old favorite of ours.
Yes, it is.
It's a pretty cheap bottle. It's like $30 or $40.
$30.
What state you live in.
But it's really good.
But it's Elijah Craig's small batch. And on the bottle, it says Elijah Craig is the father of bourbon.
Father.
I didn't know that. Established in 1798.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, Elijah Craig was the first company to char oak barrels, which is kind of a signature of bourbon now.
Okay.
So there you go. So I'm going to pop this bottle. All right, here we go.
Oh.
It's a good
Every
sound.
time it sounds good.
It's a good cork. All right.
That's a Friday night good sound right there.
How many fingers do you want?
I'll take 2.
All right.
It's gonna be a pretty good episode. You guys are gonna really like this episode. So we've been mostly talking a lot about science, a lot of research. But me, I like to have some fun every now and then, and I like to kind of intrigue with the mind, play with the mind a little bit. So this episode, we're going to be doing that. Do you know what we're talking about this episode?
I do know what we're talking about. We're going to talk about the Mandela Effect.
Ooh.
But before we get to that and what that is, I really want to thank our patrons. So when you become a patron, it's $5 a month. You get a bunch of extra content. And we are going to read your name on screen, and we're going to thank you. So we really want to thank our first patron, Susan Shank. Thank you so much for supporting our show and supporting our content. And for those of you who are not patrons yet, please consider joining the patron program. If you click Become a Patron or Support Us on our website, it'll take you to a patron video. You can learn more about our cause, learn more about us, and it's $5 a month, and you get 5 extra episodes a month. So it's $1 an episode.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
I mean, and you're supporting us. You're supporting free science. Excuse me. It's a Friday. You're going to have to bear with me.
Oh, yeah.
You're supporting free science, which is unbiased, unpolitical, unfiltered science, not the stuff they like to talk about on the TV where they don't actually cite anything.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing that citation here because we're actually kicking it old school where we actually reference everything. But yes, Susan, thank you so much for being our first patron, supporting us. And if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I really like these guys. These guys seem pretty cool. Friday night, having the, kick back, relax, talk about some science, and, have a little sip of that bourbon. And you're thinking, man, these guys are really fun. Please consider that $5 because you get Coffee Break, which is an extra episode every single episode, and then you get an extra one of these bad boys, which is a good old hour-long episode almost of science and some really cool articles that we talk about.
And you get one of those every month, and this month we are going to be talking about space. Ron works at NASA, and so he's got some special insights. So if you want to hear that episode, go ahead and become a patron. It's $5 a month. If you can't afford $5 a month, which is the same as one Starbucks latte, please, please, please like, comment, share, tweet this out, put it on Instagram, share with your friends, because we're trying to grow our audience. We're trying to get this kind of information and this kind of science out to everyone. So please, thank you so much for listening. Please join our community and like, share, subscribe.
Ooh. That's some really good bourbon.
Yeah, I love this one.
Oh, man. What proof is it?
It's 94 proof.
Oh, that's not bad.
It has a really smooth
oaky
start,
taste.
A little burny finish, but then it finally is really good at the end, like a little
well
oaky,
done.
Yeah.
I mean, small batch kind of can differ between batches.
We like this one. It's pretty consistent, but a few batches ago,
it was harsh.
That was really harsh.
You had to use a cube.
For the most part, the most of the time, Elijah Craig Small Batch is a winner.
So if anyone who is working at Elijah Craig, is listening to this and you're like, oh man, I really hope they like your bourbon. We do.
We like it.
So something else just to kind of, talk about. We have a contest.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Okay. We're getting serious. Getting really serious, right? Not only did I design a website called I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com, but I also did a little bit of that artwork.
He did a lot of that art, guys. It's fantastic. I'm going to brag on him a little bit. He did some super, super cool art, and you can check it out in the shop on I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com. There's t-shirts, tote bags, art, mugs, travel mugs, aprons. There's all sorts of stuff. Pillows. So go ahead and go on there, check it out. But we're also going to do a giveaway. So we're going to be giving away his design PodCats. It's our little kitten Zelda sitting next to a microphone. It says PodCats. We're going to do a giveaway of a canvas, but you have to go to the website and you need to earn points for entering the giveaway by sharing on Twitter, sharing on Instagram. There's going to be a whole list there for you so that you know how to earn points.
Yeah, so you can earn entries. There's many ways to do it. You can watch the video on YouTube that's talking about this contest. You can share on Twitter. And one of the biggest things is to actually just sign up and subscribe to our email list, because we'll be sending out whenever a new episode goes live, when there's something new in the store, because I get inspiration sometimes this past week, Espressology was literally 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh man, that'd be a really cool shirt because I love espresso. So, I mean, it literally just comes to me, and then I end up going downstairs and hand drawing this for, I say hand drawing. I use a mouse.
Yeah, it's all computer graphics, but it's very cool. So go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, so please check that out. And on top of that, okay, speaking of entries, if you are listening to this right now, there's going to be a secret word in this episode. Okay,
oh, yeah.
So please listen for that secret word. It will be a pretty obvious thing. We're going to go secret word, we're going to let you know that, hey, this is the secret word. Then you go to that contest portal, you put it in at I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com. You get to that contest portal, you put that in. That's going to give you some extra entries. Very easy.
Absolutely. Also, the extra episode for the patrons this month is going to have another bonus word that'll get you more points for the giveaway. So if you pay $5, you can get extra points to get higher listed on the giveaway, and the giveaway value is like $25. It's way more than the $5.
It's more than that. It's yeah. The value of this canvas, because again, like I said, hand drawn, mouse drawn, whatever. I worked on this. This was one of the first pieces of artwork we did for this, and it literally was a photograph of our kitten, like
in the microphone.
And in the microphone.
Yeah.
And so I'm spending time. I'm doing this. And so I was like, this is literally just beautiful. I mean, it's so much fun. It's this PodCats. It's super cute. It can go up on any wall. And it's an 18 by 18 canvas. It's beautiful. And it's going to be shipped directly to you if you win. So please sign up for that. And then also, do all the great entry things. Get as many as you can. We're going to end this contest after about a week. So a week, I think it's when the next episode comes out, and we'll announce the winner.
Yep,
absolutely.
The winter.
The winter. The fourth one is coming, since there's, we already had the first one, and then there's a second one, and then you get a little bit of the heat.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get a little, taste of spring, and then it's, you get the fourth winner, at the, But anyway, so we will announce the winner that day when the next episode comes out, and then, we might start another one.
Absolutely.
Might get dangerous.
You never know.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool artwork that I'm going to be doing. I already have I legit just keep a note of every single piece of art inspiration that I have, and it's just a gigantic list because, as many of you know, I'm a nerd. So I have a lot of cool science inspiration. But anyway, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back from that break, we're going to be talking about some wild stuff. We're going to first play a game, okay, that I've set up for my beautiful wife here. And we're going to be talking about something called the Mandela Effect.
Stay tuned. All right. And we're back.
Getting
All
back.
right.
Yeah.
Welcome to I'll Take My Science Neat. I'm Dr. Rose. I'm here with my husband, Ron Rose, and I think we're going to play a game.
We are going to play a game. Yep. So, Dr. Rose, the most beautiful doctor in all the land that I got very lucky, and I'm Ron Rose, your host, who is a cybersecurity nerd.
That was mostly fake news. That first part, at least.
That fake? No, it was not. Well, you're beautiful. I'm gonna take a quick. We're enjoying some Elijah Craig today.
Elijah Craig small batch. Great.
So good. Okay, babe.
All right.
Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
I have.
Okay. So we're gonna start this off by playing a game. I'm gonna ask you some questions. These questions for everybody, you can actually go to them. We're gonna link them in the description. You can click on there and you can play along with us.
Oh, yeah.
The beautiful people at BuzzFeed have actually created this little quiz for us.
All right.
So I don't have to do much work.
Play along with me because I'm probably going to mess these all up.
Yeah. So I'm going to read them to you.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me what you think the correct answer is, and then I'm going to log it.
All right.
Select it for you, okay?
All right.
All right. So, first question.
Yeah.
What colors are Uncle Sam's hat?
Oh,
you know who Uncle Sam is?
I think they're red. Are they red, white, and blue, or just red and white?
So I'm gonna give you two different answers. Okay. Answer 1, red and white.
Okay.
Answer 2, blue and white.
Oh, blue and white. Well, I didn't think blue and white when I thought of my first choices, so I'm gonna go with red and white.
Red and white. Okay. So for those of you that are international and you're like, who the hell is Uncle Sam? That's the old guy that's like, we need you to join the U.S. Army, and he's like this old dude that like looks like Abraham Lincoln.
He looks like the American flag, and Abraham Lincoln had a baby.
Right. It's really weird. So you said red and white.
I think red and white, but now I'm sure I'm wrong.
You are, in fact, wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's actually blue and white.
Blue and white. All
yep.
right.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the picture?
No.
So you're following along and you're clicking this. You're like, okay. We're going to keep going. Next thing. Okay. What is the name of this candy bar? Okay. And it's obviously it's KitKat, right?
Okay.
Now, there's two different logos here. There's KitKat, which just says KITKAT, or there's the other logo that says KIT dash
like
KAT.
a hyphen.
Like a hyphen, yes.
Well, I think it has a hyphen in it.
You think it has a hyphen?
I think so.
Final answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Does not have a hyphen.
God. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Jeez.
Right now, if you don't believe me, you can Google it.
That's
KitKat
weird.
logo. Okay. All right. Third question.
Okay. Is this the last one, or are there more?
No, oh, there's more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got like 15. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So, do you know what Fruit of the Loom is? Right.
It's underwear.
Underwear.
Oh, and
right?
undershirts.
And undershirts too. Now, which Fruit of the Loom logo is correct? Okay. Do you know what the I think it's called a cornucopia? Cornucopia. One of them has a cornucopia. The other one does not.
I don't think it does.
You don't think it does?
No.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Oh, I got
it
one.
Right. You got
okay.
It does not. Okay. Ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
Target. Okay.
Okay, we were there today. So
we
I feel
were
like
there
I got
today.
it in my head.
Now, okay, their logo.
Yeah.
Does it have a white dot in the middle, or is it an all solid red dot?
Well, sometimes the logo's red and sometimes it's white. So I don't, because like on the side of the building.
Ooh.
I think red.
You
Is
think
it
you're
all
red?
in the middle?
Yeah. Do you want to look? You're welcome to just kind of look real quick.
Yeah. Can you turn your monitor?
Yeah, I'm turning.
We're sitting on opposite sides.
Opposite sides. Yeah. Can you see it?
Nope.
You
I see.
Which one do you think?
Oh, I think the red one.
You think the red one?
I'm more confident now.
Okay,
I'm looking at it.
Am
I wrong?
You're right. You're correct.
Oh, nice.
You're correct. All right. Now, a lot of you probably like this movie. I'm sure a lot of people actually do. I don't care for it.
Is this a movie I've seen?
It might be a movie you've seen, or it might be a movie you haven't seen, but they put it in here.
Okay.
Do you know the Saw movies? Scary,
I know
like
of them, but I'm
guy in the tricycles.
I don't do scary movies.
Okay, so
scaredy.
yeah, it's a scary movie. does the guy in that say, "Would you like to play a game?" Or does he say, "I want to play a game"?
Oh, I totally didn't know that's what that line was from. Well,
Now you
I've
do.
heard people say, "Do you want to play a game?" So I'm going to say that because that's what I've heard, but I've never seen the movie.
Okay, so, I'm sorry. Okay, so you said, "Do you want to play a game?"
Yeah.
Okay, that is actually a third option. I didn't scroll down all the way.
Oh, that's what I've heard people say, so I'm going to say that.
That one? You're incorrect.
Oh.
He says, "I want to play a game."
Oh.
Is your mind broken yet?
Well, I haven't never seen that movie, so I just know that the rest of the world is wrong now. Whoever said that line to me, they were wrong.
So, okay, we're going to get further in.
All right.
There's a lot of nostalgic things in this.
I feel like I'm doing pretty well because the Mandela Effect is about how everyone gets it wrong. So
you've gotten it
I'm
like
50-50. Yeah, that's better than I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, it might be some parallel universes here. We'll find out. So let me ask you this. Tony the Tiger, Frostiflakes.
Okay,
great. Is his nose all black or is it blue and black?
It's been so long since I had Frosted Flakes. My grandpa used to eat Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, it's so much sugar though.
I know. I'm trying to picture him in my head.
Do you want to look at it?
Yeah,
You can look at it.
I'm cheating, guys. You are
You're
on
not
radio
cheating.
and I'm
not.
looking
No,
at
it doesn't
pictures.
give you the answer until you click on it.
Can you keep turning it?
I can't. Okay, there you go. That's all I got. What do you think?
Okay. I don't know. I was gonna say all black. The blue looks weird, but the black looks weird too. I'm gonna say all black.
All black. Okay. Wrong.
Oh.
Nose is blue and black.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I think we might be going to another reality.
Oh
no. Here we go. It's going to be another reality now.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. This is a famous portrait. I'm gonna kind of do this again. Swivel over here.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
This is Henry the Eighth.
The Eighth, yeah.
Yeah. What's he holding in this famous portrait?
Oh, it's blocked out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Is he holding a glove or a turkey leg?
I'm really glad it gave me options. I was like, I'm not up on my famous art. My choices are glove or turkey leg.
Yeah. He looks like a Renaissance festival goer.
I think if you had just asked me, I would have said turkey leg, but he's so fancy.
I would have said something else other than those two, and I would have been really bad.
Scepter or something. Oh, you were going to say something inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
I'm going to go with gloves because he's wearing fancy clothes.
Gloves. Okay. Correct.
Nice.
Good job.
But that was deduction, not memory. I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah. Now, here you go. Okay.
Oh, Monopoly.
Monopoly.
What's the question?
The question is, does Rich Uncle Pennybags, which I guess is the name of the Monopoly guy,
yeah.
the Monopoly guy, does he wear a monocle? Monocle. That's it.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He totally does.
Okay. He doesn't.
What?
He does not.
He definitely does.
He does not. He does not wear one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
How's your brain?
It's baloney.
That's
what my brain is.
Is it thick cut baloney, though?
No, it's the next one.
Okay.
What is the question?
Here we go. How do you spell the name of this meat production company? Come on. Everyone knows about
Oscar Mayer.
Yeah. How do you spell it?
Okay. The screen's at an angle. Can you spell those for me?
What? You can. You're
Okay,
gonna have to lean over. Come on.
Okay,
I can't keep turning this now.
Okay, I see it. Mayer and MAY. What's MEYER?
It's ME.
Yeah, MEYER.
I'm turning this so much our audio is just gonna cut out.
Oh, I know. All right, well, don't turn it anymore. Just describe it to me.
Okay. No, you just lean over.
Like, I won't be in the mic anymore, sir.
Well, you can lean away from the mic like this.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy. It's almost like you can move.
No, for real. It's MEYER.
MEYER. Wrong.
No. Are you sure?
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Wikipedia says
fake news. Is that all of them? Is there more?
Where's there still more?
We're still going, guys. All right.
This is the one that I'm going to be honest. It broke me.
It did it?
It broke me.
I see that it's Ash Ketchum and Pikachu.
Ash Ketchum and Pikachu.
What's the question?
Which one is Pikachu's tail?
Okay, one of these Pikachus has black and one of them doesn't on the tip of the tail.
Tip of the tail. If you're listening to this and you can, I highly recommend clicking that BuzzFeed article and just literally doing it with us because trust me, it's going to blow your mind.
He has black. right? On the tip of his tail, on the tip of his ears.
I don't know. You had Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but I only collected the cute ones.
Well, I mean, Pikachu is arguably the cutest
but he's not
one.
as cute as like Eevee. Let's be honest.
Excuse me? What? He's pretty cute.
Okay, I think he has black on
Black
the tip
on
of his
tail?
tail.
No.
What?
He does not.
Is it different like on the Pokemon cards and in the show, or is it just never?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Are
Okay,
you
I'm
okay?
doing really bad now.
I'm asking if you're okay.
Well,
because...
I was not that attached to Pokemon. Let's be honest.
Okay. All right. Moving on. All right.
All right.
That one broke me because I was like, oh, no way.
Oh.
Okay, but this one, Skechers, right?
Okay.
How do you spell the name of this company?
SKE.
You put a T in there?
T,
Is there a T in there or not?
I think so.
You think there's a T?
Yeah.
All right. You're wrong.
What?
No T.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I was just sounding
That's
it out in
sketchy.
my head, like Skechers.
So you're cheating.
Yeah, but I was still wrong.
I'm trying to deduce, like...
I know I'm supposed to be going from memery, but
Sherlock Holmes.
I live under a rock, so
Yeah.
I don't know all these things.
Yeah. Anyway, how do you spell Kellogg's cereal name?
Fruit.
Do you know what this cereal is?
It's Fruit Loops. I can
Fruit
tell from
Loops.
the box.
How do you spell it?
FROOT. Loop. Like the fruit and the loops are the same, right?
Right. So we have three options for those listening, right? We have fruit, like how you spell fruit.
Like
okay.
FRUIT.
Right. And then you have the second option being FROOT.
That's how I think it is.
And then the last option being, I'll be honest, I don't think it's real, but FREWT.
Oh, okay. FREWT. No, I think it's the double O because I think it's fruit and loops that match.
Okay. And you're correct.
Hooray! I got one.
Yeah, right. Okay, here's another one. Okay. It's have you ever heard of Bernstein Bears?
Bernstein Bear, yeah.
Yeah.
I read it when I was little.
You read it when you were little. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it spelled Bernstein? Bernstein Stan with an STAIN at the end.
Like Bernstein?
Bernstein, yeah. Or Stein, STEIN.
Well, it's Bernstein Bears, like we just said that. So it's STEIN. Bernstein.
You're wrong.
What? It's Bernstein?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, go moving on. Now that's actually the most people really call back to that one.
Yeah.
And they're like, the world is ending because it's...
I was really little when I don't even know that I have a memory of that. Just that we say Bernstein, which would be TEIN.
Right.
It's crazy.
Okay. What's the name of this Warner Brothers animated series? Looney Tunes. Okay. Do you spell it TOONS or TUNES?
It's definitely the double O. It's Looney Tunes.
Wrong.
Really? Like it's tunes like song. Like instead of cartoons? Wow. Oh, wow.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that was rough.
This one I don't know much about.
Oh, Sex and the City.
I've never seen that. Yeah. Is it Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
I think it's in the city.
It's in the city, isn't it? No, it's not.
It's and the city?
It's and the city.
Well, again, I've never seen it, so everybody else is wrong, and I was just misinformed.
Your score
was
bad. 4 out of 15.
Oh,
not very good. Now I'm gonna hurt you even more, and I know this one is gonna be really rough, and I'm gonna ask you this simply.
All right.
What does Mr. Rogers say in his opening song? What's his famous thing?
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Will you be mine? Is that the part you're looking for?
Yeah. I mean, I had to look it up because I did see this.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Will you be mine? I don't know how the tune goes.
Okay, 1 second. You have to, yeah.
Don't ruin Mr. Rogers for me.
Don't ruin it.
He was my childhood.
Okay. All right. 1 second. I'm getting there.
The suspense is killing me.
Suspense. Oh, here's another one. Okay.
Wait, focus. Mr. Rogers.
Sorry. I'm trying to find. Okay, wait. Okay. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. but he really says it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood
instead of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
I'm gonna break you even more.
Okay.
This one's gonna hit home a little bit.
All right.
What does the evil queen in Snow White say to the mirror on the wall?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? What'd she say?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
She says, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
What? Is that right? I don't even.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is past the BuzzFeed article by now. And
okay.
I'm gonna give you one more.
Okay, you're killing me here.
One more.
All right.
Okay. And then we'll
actually talk about real science.
We'll actually talk about real science.
Sort
here.
of.
We're getting a little bit extra for everybody.
All right.
What does Darth Vader say to Luke Skywalker?
Oh, I know this one.
Do you? You probably do.
He's supposed to say, Luke, I am your father.
Right.
But he actually says something like, no, I am your,
no, Luke,
I am your father, or something like that.
No! Come with me.
Yeah.
Together we will rule the galaxy.
Nerd.
I am a nerd. Yes. Okay.
So that was a mind-blowing game.
Crazy stuff, right?
But
you got a lot wrong.
I did.
You got a lot wrong.
I'm not used to getting things wrong.
You're not used to getting things wrong.
I'm always right, guys.
It's true. It's really hard in our relationship.
Okay.
So, okay. Isn't that crazy, though?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
And so all of that combined is what's called the Mandela Effect, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Right. So why is it that you really think those items are a certain way? Why do you have, I have memories of Pikachu having a black tail.
Oh, yeah.
I have memories of Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the fairest one of them all.
Right. So before we get to why that happens, I want to talk about what is the Mandela Effect, why it's called that sort of thing.
Right.
So the Mandela Effect is basically this occurrence of the whole of society having an incorrect memory. And we all think it's the same, but wrong. And so this term was coined by a woman named Fiona Broome. And in the 90s, she basically detailed how she remembered the South African president Nelson Mandela dying in 1980 in prison. The only thing is Mandela lived until 2013. He was let out of prison and continued living and doing all sorts of really big things in the public eye. And the crazy thing is, it's not just this crazy lady, Fiona Broome, who thought about it, but everybody thought that Nelson Mandela was dead and died in prison in 1980.
Wow.
And so, and they had details, they could remember the emotions they felt, they could remember the news articles, they could remember everything, and it never happened. And so, and Nelson Mandela was a really big figure. He was the first elected black head of state in South Africa after the British invaded, long, long ago.
Pretty big deal.
And he was this huge anti-apartheid revolutionary, which is why he was in jail. So he was a political leader, a philanthropist, and he served as president from 1994 to 1999 after everybody thought he was already dead. So it's not like he was just some hidden random figure. He was the president of South Africa.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty crazy.
And a ton of people think that he died, and then he died later, and they're like, "Wait, what? I thought he was already dead."
Even I was born after he was supposed to have died, and I knew for sure as a fact that he was dead and had died in prison. I remember learning that in school, but he didn't.
You know what?
What?
I think we might be in another universe. Oh man!
Oh no!
Oh no!
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight.
Dear.
A dimension of mind.
And
you're moving into a land of both shadow and
substance,
dimension. Of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the twilight
zone. But people really do think that.
Yes, people actually think that that the Mandela Effect is essentially like a convergence of parallel universes. That for some reason or somehow, like me, who had a memory of no, Luke, I am your father.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that between when I was born till now, my other self in another universe crossed, and I obtained those memories.
Yeah,
some people believe that.
I don't know if I think some people believe that. There's quite a few publications out there about string theory, multiple universes, multiple dimensions. We were not able to find any in peer-reviewed journals.
Yeah,
so we're not going to cite them. We're not going to talk about them specifically. But if you're interested, go to Google Scholar and type in Mandela Effect, Mandela. I just froze there. Mandela Effect. And type in parallel universes, and there's a bunch of papers you can read. They're very confusing, lots of equations. Yeah, but basically, the idea is that we're living in a simulation, and that the world is actually like a simulation, and that every time the simulation deviates, there's parallel universes. And anytime you see something that's like the Mandela Effect or deja vu, it's like a glitch in the Matrix. And they try to use physics and equations and all those things to explain it. So that's a pretty entertaining thought to entertain.
Right.
So if you're interested in that, or if you think that might be real, I would go check out Google Scholar.
You can believe whatever you want.
You can.
You have the freedom to believe whatever you want. But we like talking about peer-reviewed science. We might talk about some papers that aren't peer-reviewed, but we like things that are reviewed and have some scientific basis for what they're trying to show. This is just like fun, to be honest.
It is super fun.
And but I will say, and before we go to the break here, I will say that it is very interesting that everyone thinks that these things are one way, and they're like, "What? No, it's Sex in the City."
Yeah, KitKat has a hyphen.
KitKat has a hyphen. Pikachu has a black tail. And when we get back from the break, we're going to try to dive into that and see if we can't find out the reason why.
Why do we all think the same thing?
Right. Hey everybody, welcome back from the break. I'm Ron Rose, and before you do anything else, make sure you do a like, a subscribe, and tune into our podcast every week, releasing on Fridays. Also, look into our Patreon program where you get an extra episode every week that goes into some science and behind the scenes. And you're also going to get one extra episode a month, so be sure to look into that. All right, back to the show.
We're back. All right.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you about a pretty cool paper that I found.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun reading this paper.
Yeah?
I think it made a lot of really good points. It's a review paper. It was published in Topics of Cognitive Science. The paper will be linked in the description if you want to read it. The title is Social Transmission of False Memory in Small Groups and Large Networks. And I want to go ahead and thank the authors for their super hard work. The authors are Raya Maswood and Suparna Rajaram. I apologize if I butchered your names, but you guys wrote a really fun paper. It was really informative.
Maswood and Suparna Rajaram.
Yeah.
How'd you get that wrong? Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
And I want to let our listeners know this work was funded by the National Science Foundation.
Hey, so that's a pretty big foundation, right?
National Science Foundation and the National Institute of Health are the two big funders of science in the United States.
So this is not some, small funding, or like they got together, they did like a lemonade stand and like raised money.
Right, no, it was not nickel and dimed. NSF is good funding.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this research paper. So it's talking about how people maybe have received false memories.
Yeah, so it talks about how we get false memories and how we get them alone, how we get them with our friends, and then how we get them as a society. It was a really fun read So I'm just going to hit the highlights, and I kind of want to share them with you. I want to share them with our listeners, and, maybe we can chat about some of the experience we've had in group work and in real life, just having these sorts of false memories.
Okay.
So the first thing to know is that memory is not perfect. It's not a perfect photographic recollection. Some people have what's called photographic memory. They recollect better.
Mm-hmm.
But for most of us, it's our brain's attempt to reconstruct an event.
Okay.
And so it's never perfect. It can be wrong to begin with. You can just remember wrong. It can be created from misinformation. So you could have a correct memory, and then you somehow hear some misinformation about what happened. Like, let's say something happened when you were little, and you have a memory and you remember it correctly, and then your mom retells the story, but she tells it not quite right.
You mean like, oh, hey, do you remember when you got hit in the face and might have messed you up?
Well, it just got real.
And you've got like allergy issues and stuff, so you need to go get allergy tested. If you want to learn more about that, you want to stick around for the patron video, The Coffee Break, because we go into how I got hit in the face as a 2-year-old, and I have some nasal issues.
We're going to talk about how allergies work and the whole experience with getting allergy
But you're
tested.
talking about right now the possibility that there could be a almost interjected memory.
Right. So in that story, you got hit in the face with a swing.
Yeah.
But let's say your mom had remembered that you got hit in the face with a baseball.
Oh, okay.
And that's how she told the story. Even if you remembered originally getting hit in the face with a swing, if you hear her tell the baseball story a couple times, you'll actually start remembering it as being hit in the face with a baseball.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. And the more misinformation is out there, or the more kinds of misinformation, the more your memories might get messed up. And so scientists have a lot of different ways to test memory and misinformation. Mm-hmm. But one of the common ones that sort of applies for when they're testing just a single person or a bunch of, like a few people or a bunch of people, is what they call like strings of words. Oh. And so they might just give you like 20 words and ask you to remember them.
Okay.
And so...
You're not going to ask me to remember 20 words.
No.
Okay, gosh. Whew,
it's
guys.
Friday night and we're drinking. Are you kidding? That's hard.
I need a little bit more Elijah Craig for this one.
And so what's interesting is when they were studying, and this is a review paper, so they talk about a lot of studies, and they cite everything. But one of the most common paradigms or ways to test memory and false memories is you sit a person down and you give them a list of words like haystack, thread, prick, and like all these words that go together, and then you ask them to recall all of the words. What do you remember all the words being? Almost always, the participants will insert a word that was never presented, like needle.
Oh, wow.
And so, like the word haystack brings an association needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
The word thread, you think thread the needle. If you think prick, you think, oh, I got pricked by a needle. And so they do all these words that are associated with the word needle, but they never say the word needle.
Huh.
And almost always the person remembers needle being in the list. And so that's just a really cool way of like, they didn't get misinformation. They didn't get confused. They were wrong. They remembered it wrong because our brains are trying to piece together the information, and we're really, really good at connecting things together. Mm-hmm. And so we connected all those words with needle, and we remember needle being in the list.
Right.
And so
I there's a lot of things that are like that. Like, did you know that C-3PO's leg in Star Wars, it's actually silver?
I didn't. Isn't it red at one point?
Well, in the prequels, there's like a red arm or something like that. But I'm talking to like original.
Yeah, it's
if
silver.
you look at it, he has one silver leg.
But we all think of it mostly as him being gold.
As gold, right? But if you went right now and you went back and you watched Star Wars, you'd be like, no, his leg is silver.
Right.
What? And that just goes to show you how bad our memory actually is.
Yeah.
You know?
And so some of these Mandela Effect things might just be like like maybe the Mr. Rogers one, It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood sounds better with the melody than this neighborhood. So we maybe all just heard it that way.
Bernstein Bears sounds better than Bernstein Bears.
Right.
And also, if you remember the twangy person that was singing the song, I think it was like a Dolly Parton like mimic person. Oh. She goes, Bernstein Bears. She literally exaggerates Steen. Or Stain to the point where it sounds like Steen. You remember like the whole Yanni or I don't know what the other one was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, it was Yana.
Yanni or oh gosh, I don't remember.
The audience is going to be like these people.
Yeah, these people. But yeah, that was like the whole Donald Trump thing, and like which one? Well, I heard. Oh, Laurel or
Yanni. Yeah.
And we all heard different things. That's the same thing where basically we just hear something different. I think a lot of people heard Steen there than Stan. And also one more thing, we also will see another movie that will reference the original material, but say it just a little bit different.
Right, so that gets to the next study. So they talk a lot about in this review paper how you get false memories on your own. But then they talk about, well, what if you're in groups? What if you have information coming from other people? And so one of the studies they talked about that I thought was pretty cool was they had participants read some information, and they were supposed to memorize it, read it.
Okay.
Some of the participants got to go straight from reading to telling the scientist, okay, this is what I read. I remember it. Some of the participants were let in a room with another participant who had also read the story, and they were allowed to talk to each other.
Oh, we know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
It's like a really bad version of telephone.
Right. The only thing is they didn't quite read the same story.
Oh no, this is a troll thing right here.
So the participants read, it was like, 85% the same, but there were key points in the story that were different. And then after they were allowed to chit chat, like in a waiting room, each participant was called in on their own and asked to only recall what you read. And they would swear they remember reading things that were only in the other person's story.
So if they had like a similar story like, hey, a red truck goes down the street and then makes a right, the other person might have a story that says, hey, the blue truck goes down the street and makes a left.
Yeah.
And then they get in the room and they both have that story and they start talking, and it's just similar enough to where, wait, you got it left? Maybe it was left. And then they confuse each other.
Yeah. And so this is one of the things they thought. The people who were able to talk to each other were way more inaccurate than the people who just had their own story. Even if the people who talked to each other had almost identical stories, they were still really inaccurate.
So I'm gonna talk about my childhood for a second. Oh well, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to go off your point.
Okay.
Was that the scientists basically hypothesized that that there's some sort of like people-pleasing aspect to that they doubted their own memory, one, and they thought, well, maybe the other person remembered better, and two, you want to be agreeable in social situations, and so your brain automatically gears towards what the other person is saying.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, oh, yeah, maybe it was that, you immediately tried.
Yeah.
So another thing to add to the equation, I know, and this isn't in the paper, this is just from what I've done, like research online, what I've seen, no citation for this, and personal experience. Okay, so Luke, I am your father, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not actually said in the original movie, but there's another movie called Tommy Boy. And if you've ever seen that, it's got Chris Farley, who is awesome, God rest his soul, amazing comedian. And he literally has a scene where he's in the fan and goes, Luke, I am your father. He does that sort of thing. It's really funny. I hope I did that okay. My brother, I'm sure, will judge me for it if I didn't do it right. But because we grew up that movie. But anyway, so if you heard that after watching the original series, your brain is going to go, ooh, wait, I'm going to issue a correction. I think what he said actually might be true because it's a movie. And why would a
movie mess it up?
Why would a movie mess it up? Same thing with Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Who's the fairest one of them all? How many times has there been a a different movie like Cinderella or Snow White, or how many times has that been remade? I mean, look at Shrek, right? Mm-hmm. Shrek has a mirror in the movie.
That's true.
And that's one of the lines they say, or at least close to it, and it can actually confuse your brain, your knowledge, that memory, and then all of a sudden you think it's the latter.
There's also been a lot of remakes of Snow White in all the Disney and Disney-esque things where they like steal that idea,
right?
Like Enchanted and some other things. And so I feel like, what's that TV show? Where they're like in Maine and.
Oh, Maine.
It, like, all the characters in this small town in Maine are Disney characters.
Enchanted?
Wait, isn't that a movie? No, I think that's something else.
No, it's
anyway, people who know what it is know what it is. But I think
it's like a Snow White thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Anyway, the evil witch is in that one too.
Yeah, she is.
So, so these things get repeated and we get misinformation.
Right.
And another really interesting thing, and I love this because it kind of applies to group work, both for students in school and those of us who work in teams as adults.
Always do solo. Just like
they did a study. So like I said, the thing that translates best from alone to small groups to large groups are these strings of words. Mm-hmm. And so what they did was they gave people a long string of words, like the one we talked about early, like hay, grass, needle, thread, like whatever. They gave them a long string of words. And then they had some people all by themselves just go in and say, okay, I'm going to remember as many as I can. And they write them down. Then they had some people in groups of 2, 3, or 4. And so like, let's say you're in a group of 3 and you all have to work together to remember as many words as possible. And what they found is that 3 people grouped together did way worse than 3 people on their own. Because they came up with a lot more like false words that weren't really in there.
Right.
And something about the misinformation playing off each other, they just did really, really bad. But what was worse than 3 people just shouting it out and just going ad lib was 3 people who had to take turns. The pressure of turn taking decreased the accuracy of their memory recall. And so basically the worst possible thing you can do for your teamwork and your memory is to sit in a large group and take turns.
So basically this is why you have a PowerPoint.
Right.
I mean, this is why you get a PowerPoint together. You put it together and all the information that you need. You spell everything out. And then you send it to your audience. And that way your audience doesn't get it wrong.
Right.
What was that presentation about?
Well, and this is why note-taking is so important. Because our memory is fucked.
Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying this awesome episode on the Mandela Effect. If you get a second, I need you to go to I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com. Make sure you click the enter the giveaway button so then you can enter to win a beautiful canvas art print of our wonderful, beautiful cat Zelda that we saved this past winter from the awesome, terrible coldness that was crazy. Saved her. We made a beautiful painting of her, very artistic. And when you go to enter there in the giveaway, there's going to be a section for a secret word. And the secret word of this episode is memory. That's right. MEMORY. All capitals. Memory. If you enter that code in, you're going to get 50 extra entries into the giveaway. You're going to want to do this giveaway because it's a beautiful canvas print of our cat Zelda, and trust me, you're going to see from the picture on I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com, it's adorable, it's amazing, and you're going to want it on any wall of your house. So be sure to go to I'llTakeMyScienceNeat.com, enter that giveaway, and put in the secret code word memory. All right, back to the show.
So, and this all applies to, alone and to small groups and sort of large groups, but how does these sort of small interactions get around to the Mandela effect? How does it get culture-wide?
Right.
And so they actually talk about this in the study, and they talk about basically how we get false memories in large networks. So I want to give you a scenario. You go to work, and you're sitting in your cubicle, and your coworker comes up to you, and they say, hey, did you see on the news? And they tell you about a news story.
Okay.
And you are like, oh, man, I didn't see that on the news. That's crazy. And it's like like Nelson Mandela died. Or some, not that dramatic, but like...
No way, that's crazy.
Something that's sort of true, sort of not. And maybe your coworker didn't quite get all the details. And maybe your coworker only told you the exciting parts of the story.
Did you hear Michael Jackson just put out a new song?
Yeah. And so...
Wait, what? I thought he... Okay, yeah, he's probably right.
Yeah, sure. And then you don't go find the original article. You're like, wow, that's crazy. And you run into your brother later, and you're like, hey, dude, did you hear that Michael Jackson just put out a new song? It's probably awesome or something.
I haven't heard it yet.
And then your brother goes home and talks to his wife and says, oh, babe, did you hear that like Michael Jackson just put out this top hit song? And every single time, it's like the game of telephone. Every single time, we as humans tend to focus on the exciting parts.
Mm-hmm.
And we also are really bad about double checking our information.
Which is very important to cite everything. And
so they call these basically chains, like information chains. And the further down the chain you get, the worse the information accuracy gets.
Worse that gets.
And so this is how all these little false memories, even if you read the article and it said something like, Michael Jackson thinks he wants to put out a song soon, but your coworker comes in and says, did you hear Michael Jackson put out a song? You start to think, oh, maybe that article did say that. Maybe I didn't read it well enough. Maybe I'm not sure. And then you were like, well, that was exciting. I want to tell my brother Michael Jackson put out a new song.
Mm-hmm.
And so your memory gets fragmented, becomes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes on and on and on to everyone you tell, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And that's how we get stories as egregious as Nelson Mandela died in jail, and it was sad and terrible when he was just fine. Like, he was in jail. That was real.
Right.
And the original article could have said something like, Nelson Mandela, like, gets a disease in jail. Or it could have said, like, catches cold in jail or something.
He was sick or something.
And just goes on and on and on and on and on until every single person thinks he died in jail in 1980.
And in us as humans, we are very confident. Like, we're very, very confident in what we think is true. I mean, to the point that we're almost like too stubborn to admit that's not true.
Right.
And until we're presented with fact, then we're like, oh man, wow. Yeah. Okay. So I had no idea. And this can happen with the spoken word and also the written word. So if you're reading articles that don't cite sources, that's basically that person saying, hey, I read it, and isn't this crazy and sensational news headline? And they're just perpetuating this communication chain, getting worse and worse and worse. This is why it's so important to go back to the original primary source, either like the original article that wrote it or the original science paper or whatever it is, because we perpetuate these false memories to each other, to our friends, and then throughout society. And that's how dangerous, like this, because I mean, for the last year we've been hearing fake news and misinformation, and that's how dangerous that something can become. All it takes is one person either lying or someone to recollect something different, and it can sway everyone to think that certain way. That's why it's so important to cite things and reference things. And especially with science. I mean, we've seen, with COVID and everything, we've seen that it's incredibly important to cite everything and understand things. If we don't actually cite, and if we don't actually have studies that present facts, then we're just going willy-nilly and just believing whatever someone, And so that's why it's so important to have that like foundation of the citing, and why we're like, we like things that are cited, that are referenced, that have all the sources for you to go out and see. And we do want you to go see them if you get a chance. And that it's just built on that foundation of truth. That way, when you actually do talk about it, you have some, actual ammunition behind what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When we do research papers in school, that's why it's so important to have the reference section.
Right.
But anyway, did you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's that?
Yeah.
Okay. She's giving me the googly eyes. So, babe, we're talking about all this information, right? How would you feel, or how would you like, if all of your information, all your data, right? Do you know all your ornithology bird research data?
No, my memory's terrible.
So you don't know exactly how that bird sang the other day, or?
No, I don't. I mean, it's in my notes. It's in my computer notes.
It's in your computer notes?
Yeah.
So I have a skit for you.
Okay.
And this is not just for you. It is for everyone. And it is called Ron Rose's Cybersecurity Tips.
All right. Well, you work cybersecurity for NASA. So
that's right. So
you're qualified.
There's one thing that I've seen, seen, heard, witnessed with my own two eyeballs,
right,
both.
Earballs.
That everyone seems to forget about. Data is only as good as how redundant it is and how its integrity is. If its integrity is compromised, just like we're talking about references and citations, if any of those citations or references are compromised, right, the original source, then it destroys the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about data and we're talking about your research, if let's just say your hard drive just blew up.
Yeah, that happened. My hard drive failed a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's real scary.
Real scary. And that's all your research.
Yeah, I had all my data on it.
Right. So I'm going to talk to you today. And those that are listening, you're in your car, or you got your headphones on, you're jamming to us, and you're learning and getting some, fun laughs. I'm going to teach you something today. There's a couple things that you can do to ensure that your data is good, that you don't have to worry about that. Number one, always back up your data. And this is as easy. It's as easy as pie. People don't realize how easy it is. It really is as simple as you going and you just finding a cloud solution you like. And a lot of times, if you're a researcher like you were at UMBC, they provide something like Box for you.
Yeah, every university I've been at had a free version of Box for university employees and students. Yeah. But otherwise, you can buy space on Box or Dropbox or
Google,
there's
or
like a million.
So many different
options.
things. Yeah, so many different options. So you have all this data, you have it on your hard drive. The first thing you want to do is you want to put it somewhere else. The easiest way to do that is to have a cloud backup solution. Now, what's the cloud, okay? When you hear cloud, you're like, is it raining today? A cloud is literally like we were just talking about. It is a server somewhere on the internet to store the data, okay? You always want to have data in at least 2 spots, if not 3. So the first thing you do, you have your data, you take it, you do some backing up into a cloud, and you can sync it automatically.
Yeah.
Whoa, blow your mind, right? Second thing, okay? Once you have that data backed up, all right, you got it. Now it's good. It's over there. It's in the cloud. Now, anytime I make an adjustment on my computer, it's going to immediately back up. After that, I recommend, okay, maybe you can do monthly, but I recommend at least 4 times a year, so quarterly, just doing a hard backup of it.
Onto an external hard drive.
Yeah. And you can even override it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So springtime comes around, plug it in, put all your data on there, take it out, and then you can go storage, and you can literally, make a little record of it, whatever you need to do, put it away, and then don't worry about it until the next time you need to, do it.
Yeah.
Why is this good? Because you're giving a third place for your data. Mm-hmm. If something were to happen to your computer and the cloud, although unlikely, you still have your data. Now, why is this all important? Because a lot of the people that probably listen to this are like you, who want to go into research, or are doctors, or have all this data that they've been working on their entire lives.
Or there are people like independent business owners or those sorts of things who really need to keep their data safe and secure.
Or they just have a lot of pictures on their phone of their cats.
I mean, that's pretty much me.
Right. So you need to keep and make sure those are good.
Yeah.
It's good to back up everything, and you can do it automatically. Now, a lot of phones allow you to do photos backed up pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I highly recommend doing that. And one of the other things that I'm going to mention cybersecurity-wise is once you have your data fixed up, you want to worry about data integrity. Now, what is data integrity? Okay. Integrity is like when me and you are talking, do I trust the material that we're talking about? Like, has it changed? Has it been adapted, or has it been hacked or manipulated? That can happen. Can you imagine what would happen if we had all this data on bird research and then someone just went in and changed all of it to say something completely different?
That would stink.
That'd be awful, right?
Yeah.
So you want to worry who has access to the data.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just worry about, oh, do I have it? You want to worry, where is my data at? Is it backed up? Do I have a hard copy? And then who has access to it?
Yeah.
You're yawning, so I think I'm boring you.
No.
No, it's okay. So you want to basically make sure that you back up your data. You want to make sure you have it in 3 locations, one in the cloud, one being on your hard drive, and another being on a physical, external hard drive. And then you want to make sure that whoever has access to the data, that you trust them, and that way the data can't be compromised.
Right.
I'm going to give you one final thing.
All right. So number 1 is back up your data. Number 2 is make sure you trust the integrity of your data.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3,
never, ever yank out a USB stick without ejecting it first. And I know that a lot of people are going to go, well, I do that all the time. Okay. Do not do that.
Guys.
Especially if you're accessing the file. Do not. I'm not kidding you.
I learned this the hard way because I used to do it all the time and it never was a problem ever until one time I did it and every single file on the USB stick became corrupted. And I was like, babe, you're in cybersecurity and IT, please fix it. And he's like,
I can't do magic.
There's literally nothing I can do.
I'm not a wizard. I can't go and fix that. Okay, so if you can imagine everything on that piece of USB or whatever is zeros and ones, and it's constantly being transmitted back and forth, and suddenly you just connect the connection, just cut it. Yeah. So it suddenly goes, oh, well, I think it's here. But no, I think it's here. And then it's just lost that data. It becomes corrupted. Sometimes you're lucky if you can revert back. Sometimes you can get it back. But if that's all your data on that hard drive or USB stick, it's gone.
Yeah,
like,
I got nothing back.
Yeah, you got nothing back. So don't ever pull the USB stick if you're in the middle of accessing a file. If you accidentally, your cat yanks it out or whatever, don't ever let that happen. Actually eject it and go through the proper setup there. Because
if you don't know how to eject it, I can't help you if you're on a Mac. But if you're on a PC,
yeah.
It's down in the bottom right-hand corner by the clock, and you'll be able to click the little arrow for your options, and there'll be one there to eject your USB stick. So if you don't know how to do that, that's how you do it. If you're on a Mac, I can't help you.
So 1, redundancy, right? Data in multiple locations.
Right.
2, integrity. Make sure that whoever has access to your data can't manipulate it.
Right.
Same thing goes if you're in a coffee shop. Make sure that you're not throwing data across the Wi-Fi there without a VPN, because somebody can actually intercept and change that data.
Yep.
And 3, never, ever yank out a piece of hard drive, USB stick, anything that's storage if you're accessing that storage, because it will become corrupted and you'll lose everything that's on it.
Yep. All right. If you guys enjoyed this episode and these super helpful tips, I hope that you start protecting your data better. I certainly have learned a lot being with Ron, and I'm protecting my data a lot better. But if you've enjoyed this episode, if you've enjoyed any of our previous episodes, please like, share, subscribe to our newsletter on the website. I'll take my science
enter the contest
.com. Enter
Get
the
that
contest.
podcast.
Use your secret word, and become a patron. Watch our patron episodes. Get the secret word in the patron episodes. And we will see you next time in the next parallel universe.
Yeah, and if you become a patron, you can hear all about my wonderful allergies and almost dying this past week.
And you'll get an extra full episode about space, the final frontier.
The final frontier.
All right. We will see you next time. And in the meantime, if anyone asks you how you want your science, tell them you'll take it neat.
All right. Have a great weekend and a great day wherever you guys are at. See ya.